Hi everyone, it's Karen the Geordie Grandma. This is part 2 of the auction haul that I got off my sister-in-law to put on eBay. So I showed you the first part. I went through everything that I'd got in the lot, and then I said I was going to go away and research everything and decide what I was going to keep, what I was going to list, and what I was going to get rid of. And I asked you to guess if you thought I was going to keep it, if I was not going to keep it. And I got some nice comments and some interesting comments. So I've been away and I've done all the research. I've tested the things that needed testing. So I'm going to go through here and tell you what I'm keeping and what I'm listing, and if I'm listing it, roughly how much I'm going to list it for. I thought instead of getting everything out again and showing you each item one by one, I would actually take a photograph of the stuff and then show you as pictures on here. It just makes it a little bit easier, and hopefully this isn't going to be as long as the last one, because I like to keep them under the 20 minutes mark if I can. So this is the first lot of things that I'm not keeping. So this was the Ainsley plate. If I'm not keeping them, it's because they either are not really worth listing, they're probably worth maybe £5 or less, and it's just not worth me while, or the thing was broken, or maybe I'm going to keep it myself. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do with it as I go through. So the Ainsley plate, not worth listing. I'll probably give that to a charity shop. This blue and white jug, I really like this jug, so I've decided to keep that for myself. Shaun the sheep, not worth anything, that's going to the charity shop. This Lee Cooper jacket, it's not leather, it's actually I think it was polyester and something else with a PVC coating on it. When I did the research, they don't seem to be going for very much, so I don't think I'm going to bother listing that. If anybody knows any different, just let me know in the comments below. These lights, they were quite nice lights, but unfortunately the wires had been cut off and I wasn't sure how to get into it to get the bulbs out, so I've decided not to list those. This little baby Mickey Mouse or Minnie Mouse it may be, I'm just going to give that to me grandchildren to play with, as the same with this little remote control horse. I had a look at the label and it's from B&M, so it's probably not worth very much, so that'll just go for them to play with. This slot machine unfortunately doesn't work properly. The reels go round occasionally. It doesn't give out the amount of tokens it's supposed to give out, so I'm not going to bother selling it because I don't want the hassle of it coming back to us. So the next page of things I'm not keeping, this wooden plate. It's a nice enough wooden plate, but probably not worth listing. These glass, what I think are tea light holders, there's about 10 of them. They're not worth, I couldn't find the exact ones, but they're probably not worth very much. I think they're probably from IKEA. So I may keep a couple of them, you know, give some to my family if they want any, and if there's any left they'll just go to the charity shop when they do open again. This little clutch bag, again, really not worth listing. The interaction game, not worth listing, so we're just going to keep that and maybe play it. The PS4 game, I'm probably going to ask my son or my son-in-law if they want it to play with, because I don't think that's worth listing either. Billy Bass, unfortunately, not working. He moves slightly, but he doesn't sing at all, and Warren couldn't figure out how to fix it. He's had the back off, he's had the workings off. He has fixed one before, but this one was just beyond repair, I'm afraid, so that probably just go in the bin. This plate, which said Fragonard, nice plate, not worth listing. And these Reader's Digests, dictionaries, just like I thought, again, not worth listing. So everything that's not worth listing that was just under a £5 will just go to the charity shops, apart from the ones that I've said I'm going to keep. So after that, what am I keeping? Let's have a look. The tea sets I always do quite well with, so I was always going to be keeping those. This blue and yellow one, which is Phoenix Ware, I think there was 5 tea plates, and I think there's 3 cups and saucers. I'm going to list those for £20. This pink Springfield china, I think there's six trios, so 6 tea plates, 6 saucers, 6 cups, and I'll be listing that for £25. And the Japanese, lithophane tea set this was, where you can see when you hold the teacup up to the light, you can see the geisha girl in the bottom of the cup. This was a really lovely tea set, and I think it's about an 8-setting tea set. So I'm going to try £40 on that. When I do my research, I take the top price that it's sold for, and I go, what I list it for is probably that price, maybe a little bit more if there's non-listed for sale. So the prices I'm going to list them for are at the top end, and obviously I'm going to put best offers on those, so I'll be happy to take a little bit less than that. But that Japanese tea set was a really nice set. The Coca-Cola cookie barrel, which it was, it's actually got written on the bottom. There is a couple listed for sale, and there has been 1 or 2 sold. This one doesn't look in quite as good a condition. It's got a little bit of wear to it, so that I'm going to list for £20. This Sony car radio, I don't think I have any way of testing that, so if it was working, I think it's about £30 to £35. So maybe I'll list it for, maybe it's 20 untested if I can't find a way of testing it. If anybody knows of a way of testing it without having a car that has that kind of radio. These little Regency figures were quite cute. They go for about £7.50 each, so I'll be listing those. These little Tetley figures, I think I called them PG Tips figures. They are Tetley figures, Tetley tea figures. I'm going to list 5 for £7.50. And again, I'll put best offer on it on these, as I do on everything, and see how I get on with that. The Viceroy shaver, which is a Bakelite shaver, don't go for massive amounts of money, but I will list that for £10. Next page was this gentleman's dressing set, and apparently I said that these little containers were for salt and pepper, which I don't think they are. I think they're for shaving brushes and things like that, as my sister-in-law pointed out to me. Not worth very much. It had Wardonia written on the case, but I think it's only worth about a tenner, but I'll still list it, you never know. And there was this razor and Gillette, there was a Gillette razor and a Wilkinson sword blades in one of the tins in this set, which I've done a little bit of research and I can't find the exact shaver itself, but I think they may be worth maybe £10 to £15 just on their own. So I might list that on an auction starting at £9.99 and see where I go with that. Or I may just list it as I'd buy it now for £10 if I do a little bit more research and can't find anything. The Wedgwood biscuit barrel, I've done a little bit of research on that, and I reckon about £20. It has got a marking on the silver lid, which I can't find anywhere. It says HB, which I found that, I think that's Henry Bourne, which is the maker of the lid, possibly. And there's a little other mark on it, which looks like a shield with what looks like a bowler in it. But I can't find that on the internet anywhere, so I may have to do a little bit more research on the biscuit barrel. But I'll definitely be listing it for around the £20 mark if I can't find anything else on it. The wooden shoe stretcher, probably about a tenner. This Crown Ducal meat server plate, maybe about a tenner as well. The meat plates, these are large oval meat plates, I do quite well with, so about a tenner for that. And again a tenner for this green one, which didn't have a make on the back, but it's quite vintage looking. Now this thing, this glass, what looks like a Doctor Who alien brain to me, I couldn't find anything else like it online anywhere. I found it really difficult to think of words to describe it. I did put a question on Instagram asking people to, come back with words they would put in the description, and I got things like bubble, sea creature, stuff like that, lava. It was just really difficult to describe. And it's quite heavy. It was over 3 kilograms. There's no cracks in it. It's clear glass on the top and like a pearlized glass on the bottom. So I think I'm going to list this really high. I could be completely off the mark, but I think I'm going to list it for £125. Somebody who commented on Instagram said, why don't you list it for 125 quid? You know, it's one of a kind and just see what happens. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to list it for £125, best offers, and I'm going to put interior design project in the title, because I've watched these shows on TV where they pick up a load of junk and they're turning them into these fantastic objects that they then sell for hundreds and hundreds of pounds. So I thought that would really appeal to an interior designer. So that's what I'm doing with that. These pictures, IKEA pictures, again, I couldn't find anything like them on eBay. I may take a chance with them and put them on for £20 and best offer and see what happens. Next is these ones. So this wedding box, somebody pointed out to me, I think it was me, my cousin Lynn, who said nobody's getting married at the minute, so that probably won't fly off the shelf. But I'm still going to list it. This wooden wedding box with, it's got a little confetti in and a little holder to put the wedding certificate in. I think it's a nice thing. I did find another one that had sold on eBay for £25, so I'm going to put that on for around the same price. I may have to wait a while, but I'll still list it. This cat cookie jar, it's not a brilliant cookie jar, but cat things are collectible, cookie jars are collectible. I couldn't find one exactly the same, so I'll just list that for £10 and see where we go. This little jar that I couldn't figure out the name on the bottom actually says Talavera, and there were a few things that had sold that had that name, that mark associated with it, so I'm going to list that for £7.50 and see what happens. It's a nice little jug, you never know. The brass paper rack, I was quite surprised when I researched this. I didn't think that was a thing people would want, but apparently they're going for about £20 upwards, so I'll give that a try at £20, see where we'll go with that. This NRX Evo telephone, which is a proper working telephone, I don't think it's been used by the look of it, so I've got all the instructions with it. Doesn't go for as much as I thought it might, so I'm going to list that for about £15. This picture down the bottom that you can just see the top of is the brass candlestick. Now, brass candlesticks go better in pairs, but I've only got one at the moment, so I may list that for £10, or I might wait until I pick up some other stuff in auctions when they're open again, see if I can get another one, or maybe a bundle of brass candlesticks and put it on as a job lot, because they do go quite well when there's more than one. The copper kettle, really big copper kettle, lovely item. I'm going to list that for £30. It seems to be the roundabout the going rate. This little jug, which is German pottery, I'm going to be listing that for £10, and I did find out what the slogan said on the front, the German slogan. I can't remember exactly what it said now. It said something like, enjoy our wine, welcome to our wine house, or something like that. It was something to do with wine, but it's a nice little jug, so I'll try it for £10, because I have seen other ones very similar that were going for around that mark. I've already mentioned this Viceroy shaver on another page, so I've just doubled up on that. Obviously there wasn't two of them, there was only one. This purple dress, which you can see me modelling here, I can't find anything else like it on eBay. I'm not quite sure of the words to put in. I've kind of put in vintage ball gown, Downton Abbey style, everything like that. I can't find anything that would be really similar, so I may have to do a little bit more research on that. But I'm probably definitely going to list that, and maybe around the £40 mark. I'm not sure. I need to do a little bit more research on it. But it might actually be, you know, used as a prop in a theatre play, or maybe some TV drama or something like that. So I'll definitely list it. This Ordnance Survey map book by what I thought initially said G.R. Hartley, but it actually says J.D. Hanley, I think. That's going for around £5. So I'll leave that at the bottom of the pile of things to list, but it probably will still get listed. These Ordnance Survey Jubilee maps, which are of the royal palaces, so Buckingham House, Sandringham Castle, all those places, they have sold. Not these ones. I did find some that had sold on eBay, so I'm going to list those for about £10. They are sealed inside. These two wooden stools, kind of camping stool type of thing, where the leather seat fits onto the 3 legs. I have found a couple of those that have sold on eBay, so I think I'm going to list those for £25 each, best offer, see where we go with those. These set of Arco Rock fish plates, there's supposed to be 6 in the box, there was only 5 in the box when I had a look in, but they seem to sell for decent money, so I'm going to list those for maybe £25. The knitting machine, I can't find this exact one on eBay. I did find one on the internet that had sold for, I think it was about £70. So I think I'm going to try that on eBay for £70, obviously with best offer, and see how we get on with that. It is quite a large item to post, so I'm going to have to put maybe 20 quid postage on it. But I'll have best offer on, so we'll see what we get for that one. The house telephones, again, these are used just in the house from one room to the other. I'm pretty certain I had these when I was a kid. Seem to sell for around the £20 mark, so that's what I'm going to list those for. And the last set of stuff, this vintage mirror, octagonal shape with this painting of a crinoline lady on it. It's quite a large mirror. It's going to be a bugger to post. Maybe 30 quid. See how we'll go with that. I may actually wait until lockdown's over, if that ever happens, and put it on Facebook Marketplace, because it might be easier to sell it that way. I might not get quite as much money, but it will be a pain to post, and I don't want to have to break and give me 7 years bad luck. The Partini game, probably around £10 maximum I might get for that. It is all sealed inside, but we'll give it a try. These Giobra telephones, very similar to the other house telephones I just mentioned, and again they're going for about 20 quid. The Mr. and Mrs. cups, these were quite a surprise. There was a set on eBay that had actually sold for £12, so I'll try around the £10 mark for those. And last but not least is this very scary rabbit, which apparently is Milky the animatronic bunny. He's supposed to have a carrot with him, but he doesn't have that. He is fully working, really scary thing. My sister-in-law used to have a vintage tea shop, and she used to have this old-fashioned wooden swing in the corner of one of the rooms with this bunny sat on it. Very scary. I don't know what the customers must have thought of that. But I have found him online, and he's going for around the 15 quid mark, so I'll be listing him for that. So I think that was everything. I don't think I've missed everything out. So if you did watch the first part of this video, how many did you get right? Did you get how many I was going to list? Did you have a guess at what the prices would be of the things that I would list? I'd like to know in the comments below if you were way off mark with any of them. If you haven't already watched the first part, I'll link it down below if you want to go back and have a browse of that. But I hope you enjoyed that kind of video. I may do another one in the future when I do get any more stock in. It was quite fun for me to do. I hope it was fun for you to watch. Thanks so much for watching. If you did like it, give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, hit the subscribe button, and you can find out any of the videos that I put up in the future. So like I said, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.